Okay, I figured I'd show you kind of what I got going on here. Here is the creek that runs along this gas pipeline. This pipeline is 6 miles deep almost in this wildlife area. And they mow it once every other year for gas line access. But this actual pipeline runs through my property. So you can't really get to this point on the pipeline without going through my property, which obviously would be trespassing. So that kind of locks me into this area pretty well as far as having it to myself. And what I've been doing with this water line this year, which I haven't done too much in years past, I wanted to practice some more water trapping, is I'm kind of going in and out, bouncing in and out of this thing. You can't really walk down the creek because it's so thick. So what I do is I go in there and I set a trap, and then I come out and I hang a ribbon on the tree on the outside so I can walk down this pipeline and then walk straight in where that ribbon's at and then walk straight back out. So these traps, I've got a few of them that are fairly close together, 30 yards apart maybe at the most. But I've got another one coming up here, and it's about 50 yards from the other one. So we'll walk in there together and take a look at it. I'm also going to set a couple more traps today, a couple more foothold type traps for mink, if I can find some good sign. Always set sign when you can find it. That's the key. You can see there's a flag on the tree right there. That tells me that right behind this I have a trap. I happen to know where that trap's at because I remember it. So I know that there's an easy way to walk through here, or at least easier way to walk through here. Nothing's easy out here, especially with all the thorns and the brambles. So what I've done here is a creek that runs through here. There's a choke point where there's a bunch of down-fallen timber right here. And I don't know if I can zoom in on it or not. Maybe I can. There's a choke point back in there, and I've got a 110 conibear standing in that choke point. But it's empty, so we just move on. Okay, so I walked down to another area of this creek, and I can see from here in the sand coon tracks. So there is sign in this area, and that's what's important to me. There's also a couple deer tracks in there, but if I can find sign, I'm going to set sign every time. And what I've got with me is stuff to set pocket sets. So I'm just going to find a spot right here in this short area of the creek that I think would be good for a pocket set, and we'll set that. There's quite a few coon tracks right here in this mud, and so definitely got animals working in this area, and of course I said there's deer there as well. I really like this log crossing right here. I didn't bring a trap with me to set something like that, but that would be a good candidate for some kind of a blind set, or a 110 even maybe. Honestly, a 220 would probably be the most effective thing there, but that's illegal in the state of Ohio. The trap diameter is too big, or the square is too big to be set outside of water. It would have to be set down here in the water in a constricted area, which you could do that in certain areas out here as well. But this log crossing is probably a really, really good set. I may come back here and try to figure out some kind of a blind set for this log before it's over with, or maybe just come back with the 110. Okay, so one of the things I really like about water trapping is the simplicity of sets. You can just walk through here, find your spot, kick a hole in the bank with your boot. There's no digging and messing around in soft soil. Get your trap in the water just below that. Cut stakes right off the bank to stick your traps in place, and you're ready to rock and roll. It's very simple trapping. That's why I like it. Now, okay, I want to show you something really quick here. These Moormaker fence pliers are my preferred brand. You can buy some antique ones that are really, really good as well. You can buy new ones that are okay, but these are made in the US, and these things will probably last forever. They're only about 40 bucks. I'd highly recommend them. And the reason I like them is for staking traps in around the water. Like I said, you know, all you really got to do is cut your stakes. But you can grab a hold of that wire with that moor maker tool. It's got 2 slots right in the front of it built in for that. And just twist that dude right on there like a bread tie, and she's not going anywhere. Just as simple as you please, okay? And it gives you a really, really good tight twist, and as long as you cut a notch into your stake, like with a pocket saw or something like that, there's no way it can ride up the stake, and just drive that thing. It's a 2-foot stake, and I'm driving it straight into the ground as far as it will go. That animal's not going anywhere against this stake. Okay, so I kind of apologize about some of these camera angles and stuff, guys, but I'm going to show you this contraption I used on the trap line for setting up this camera, and it'll probably make you laugh. But like I said, I got a 2-foot stake here, and this, as long as I find a good soft spot in the bank, you know, if this moor maker tool won't pound that stake in the ground, then my axe will. But this tool makes it really, really convenient. It ain't going anywhere. That's in there good. He ain't pulling that out. Alright, so there's a close-up of my set. Bait in the back of the hole. Trap right in the front. Stake over here in the ground. Piece of ribbon right here in the tree, and I'll put another one out there, like I said, so I can see it from the pipeline. Here's the funky makeshift camera mount. Kind of silly thing. But it clamps to about anything that way, and it does work. I think this clamp part right here came from Amazon, and this other one is a mount from Industrial Revolutions. Alright guys, we just put in one more set today after that pocket set we talked about on video a minute ago. Sun's getting pretty low in the sky back there. About time to head back down the pipeline. We got about 1.5K to get back to the cabin. So I'm Dave Canterbury at the Pathfinder School and Suffer Alliance Outfitters. I appreciate you joining me today, guys, for this just a day in the life. Did a couple different things today, and I appreciate you joining me for this new cabin series, basically Traverse Cabin Season 2. I appreciate everything you do for our school, for our business, for our family, all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends, and I appreciate all your views and all your support. Thanks, guys.